Hello, it's Kerry from Mobilates and I'm here at Virtual Village Hall, and today is a little bit different. If you've just seen the screen flash up at the bottom, you can see it's not just a normal Wednesday at 4:30, it's National Fitness Day. And I'm here today with Christine from We Are Undefeatable. There's this partnering going on between Virtual Village Hall and We Are Undefeatable for this day to really promote exercise for everybody, especially if you've got a health condition and you may feel excluded from exercise, or it's just harder to get yourself into an exercise routine because of all the things you're dealing with. So it's split screen. I'm working, and working alongside me, I have Christine. So I'm just going to say hi to Christine. Hello.
Hi.
We've just met just before, but Christine, would you like to introduce yourself to everybody here, new people and old people?
I'm Chris Stanley. I was asked to go for an interview sort of thing for We Are Undefeatable, and they chose me as part of Parkinson's UK. And obviously with Parkinson's, people tend to get depressed, etc. I'm an advocate for exercise. I do a lot of yoga, ballet, and Nordic walking. I'm now a British instructor for Nordic walking. I strongly believe that exercise is the best medicine for getting you healthy, keeping you healthy, and minimizing the symptoms of Parkinson's.
I could not agree more. And with so many other conditions as well, you know, it can feel like the hardest thing to do, especially if you're new on embarking on an exercise journey with a condition. If your condition comes up and you have to deal with that as well. But exercise is the best medicine.
Absolutely.
It benefits. So Christine's going to be working alongside me. We're going to do just as we normally do. So there's going to be a standing sort of session. There's going to be seated moves. We're going to be lying down, but also because there are two of us, I thought I'm going to mix it up a little bit, and I'm going to put in more seated all the way through. So sometimes I might say a seated thing, but actually be lying down at the time. But this time Christine's going to do more lying down than me, and I'll do more seated, so we can demonstrate to everybody, whatever position you're in, whatever mobility you have. And feel free, as always, to adapt. And if it's your first time here today, if you're new to Virtual Village Hall, hello. I'm here every week at 4:30, not always with Christine. Christine is going to be, I think, in a different country. She's in a different country today. She's in Greece, by the way, just because she's an amazing traveller as well as everything else. But we're always here online, and there are lots of other classes. They're live, but they're also recorded. And sometimes they'll give me a little hello, I can't catch you today, but I'm going to be doing this later on. And I can see I'm going to say hello to Jean, hello to Irene, hello to Jackie, all regulars here. And they're always leaving messages. And it's so encouraging because I don't normally have somebody to look at whilst I'm doing this, Christine. Normally it's me by myself. So,
and thank you for having me.
Oh, it's a pleasure. Start with your legs a bit wider. And if you're seated, just the same. And we're just going to sway. And your base is either your feet or your feet and your bottom. And you can sway as slinkily as you want, as slowly as you want. You can let your arms move. If you feel secure, you can close your eyes because it will make you move a little bit more freely. That's it. And keep some breathing going as well. No holding a breath, not for this one. This is just to sort of get us gently warmed up and calm everything down at the same time. And then we'll slow it down and come to the center. And now we'll come to a sort of aligned position, ready to move. So for this, moving our legs a little closer so the feet are forwards. There's a small gap between your feet. I usually say in my groups, it's about the space for a paperback book. And if you're seated, it's about 2 fists apart. We're going to grow tall in this position. So we're both imagining here that either there's a hand just hovering above the head and you're trying to touch the top of your head to the hand, or someone's pulling an invisible thread. So now it just makes us a little taller. And then we're going to go into pelvic tilts. For today, I'm going to give you a different imagery. Imagine your bottom and your belly as a bowl of water, like a big mixing bowl. We're going to tip the bowl forwards, so it feels like your belly comes forwards a little. And then we tip the bowl backwards, the belly comes back a little. And you get the movement, you can feel it at the front and at the back. And if I come to the side, give the side view as well. Imagine my bottom and belly as the bowl. Oh, brilliant, Christine. Thank you. And what's nice actually for having two of us is you can see differences between us. I have quite a sticky, outy, natural shape. Christine is a little straighter. It's not a fault in either of us. It's just how we are. We're all, all got differences. So you may feel that you're already a little bit tipped under, or you're already a little bit sort of sticking out. One way is easier than the other. Do you have an easier way, Christine, with this one?
I think I find it easier tilting forward than back, the smaller my back. So I find it easier to tilt and use my abdomen muscles.
Yeah, and it is the abs pulling us back, especially for this sort of longer bit at the back, or the bum tucking under. And last one of those. Lovely. And then just a little wiggle of the hips. So that bowl is going a little bit side to side. Lovely. And if you're seated, you can put your fingers just underneath your thighs and your bum and just try and lift away from your fingers. And you can make it sort of little and slinky, or you can make it slower, like you're trying to lift your hip more up into your armpit. That's it, gorgeous. And it just warms up that whole lower back area, which can get really, really stiff. And then we'll let everything settle. Now, I think I nearly always do this one, a little tap on the back of the head, just to give a bit of a tingle, a bit of sensation. And then take your head back a little, just like you're leaning against a wall. And now turn your head as easily as you can. So we're not trying to force it. You can take your time. And if there's stiffness in the neck, you go in a comfortable range of movement. We're right at the beginning. And then bring your head back to the center and just give your nose a little tap, just right on the tip. And then start to draw an infinity shape, or like a figure of 8 on its side, with that tip of your nose. Now, if you're comfortable with bigger movements, make it bigger. Oh, Christine, you've got lovely neck mobility there. I'm going smaller. My neck is a bit stiff today, so I'm keeping it small. But as you're doing this, just check in with the rest of your body. What else has suddenly got a bit tense and tight? Or whether you're holding your breath, because we don't need to now. We can let that go. And then come back to the center and just give your shoulders a roll forwards and back. That's it, lovely. And you can let your arms hang really long and keep them quite close, and do the same. Forwards and back, or one side and then the other. Lovely. And then we're going to go into a little bit for our feet. So lifting your toes up and down. I'm just going to show my toes just to the camera. Now we can only get so much, there's 2 of us on this screen. There's only so much we can show. So you can see my toes, you can see them lifting up and down. That's it. And then we're going to take the weight into one leg, and the other leg, we're going to be more on the ball of our foot, and just stir the foot around. Little circles, one way and the other. You could also lift your leg up and do it that way. And that works for seated and standing. It depends what works for each person. So we're trying to show you as many things as we can today. And then go for the other side. That's it. Lovely. And then we'll go back into that aligned position when our feet are pointing forwards. And now we're going to take the heels up and down. And it's like we're going for a walk, but quite slowly at the moment. So the arms are quite long and they're going to swing, and it's a bit exaggerated. So you take your arms maybe a little higher. That's it. And you can let your body turn. Lovely. And then we're going to change it to both feet down, bit of a gap between the legs. And then we're going to lift both heels up, then down, up, then down. So it's much more of a balance exercise if you're standing. And now we're going to mix it up. This is a coordination exercise as well. So now that when the feet come down, the arms both go up. And then feet up, arms up. Feet up, arms up. Perfect. Beautiful. And one more of those. And then just come back to your original position. Now, and we're going to find a target. So I'm going to look just above my screen. I've got a little camera up there. Christine, have you got something you can look at that's just ahead of your eyes that's still? Excellent. So often it's something on the wall, but it's something at eye level. Now we're going to take one foot slightly forward and one foot back. It's like you've taken a small step and your legs are still the same distance apart. And then we're going to come forwards towards the target and back away from it. And your arms can do whatever they want to do. So they might want to go by your side. If you're seated, they might want to go on your chest. So you're just coming closer to the target and then further away. And this is a really nice balancey exercise because it sort of gets us into sort of like walking posture, really. It's cluing into that. That's it. And then we're going to stop and change the feet. So the other foot's forward and the other foot's back. And the same again. Forwards, backwards. That's it. In the chair, you might find yourself leaning towards the back of the chair. Lovely. And then place both feet down. Take them a little wider. And we're going to move side to side. Same thing. Keep your eyes on the target and just move one side to the target. Yeah, and then the other side. And it doesn't really matter how you do it, but it's challenging your balance. It's giving your brain something to think about as well. Lovely. And last one. Beautiful. Legs back in that starting position. And then we're going to go for some side bends. So we'll have an arm down one side and an arm coming up towards the ceiling. That's it. Just a little lean over. Beautiful. And we'll go for the same side. So let one arm just hang down and reach the other up. And it's not about how far down you go. It's more about the reaching up so you can really open out one side. Gorgeous, Christine. It's lovely. And you can see how Christine can take her arm right over her head, sort of arc over. That's nice. And Christine, if you like, you could turn and look at your arm as much as is comfortable. Sort of just turn your nose towards it. That's it. Last one this side. And then we swap over to the other side. Now, if you've got shoulder issues and your arm doesn't go as high, you don't have to take it so high. You can have it here, just at the side, like it's about to wave to somebody. That's it. And if you can go higher, go higher. And if you can't, you can still do that head turn. But instead of looking at your arm, you'd be looking more at the ceiling. And last one. Lovely. And then we'll do a little bit of swishing, something quite swishy. So I always like to imagine, oh, Christine, you know my swishing. This really soft arms, imagining maybe you're in a hot tub or a jacuzzi, and you can let your arms flop onto you if you're standing. If you're sitting, you can take your legs wider. If you're standing, let you move a little bit. You from one side to the other. Beautiful. And then we're going to come to wider legs. So, Christine, if you take your legs wider, that's it. So you're in a stance like this sort of stance. I've got my legs wider. I'm going to the edge of my chair, so I've got a bit more room. Now we're going to take our hands and start to make a figure of 8 on its side. It's that shape again. And our elbows going in and out. And then make it bigger. I'm just going to move away so I don't bang into the chest of drawers. That's it. Make it bigger. And now we're going to start to move the rest of our body with it. Now, if you're seated, you hinge forwards and backwards with a little lean back. If you're standing, we can come a little lower and send our bums back, and then hinge forwards and back. Oh, beautiful. Perfect, Christine, that's it. And what I really recommend for everybody is to enjoy a little lean back. Send your chest up towards the ceiling, the sun. That's it. Because it just puts a little bit of extension into the back. Beautiful. One more. And then we're going to hold a wide leg position with bums back in a sort of squat sort of position. And come forwards a little bit so your hands are on your thighs. And then we'll take one hand and a fist and just take it forwards. And then back, and then swap the other hand and the fist. Lovely. And just keep leaning one side to the other, just going across the body. Beautiful. So we're a little bit of a squat here, and we're all getting a little bit of body rotation. I promise this is going to finish in a moment because this one's always harder. Last one each side. And then we're going to take it down to a lying down surface. And to do that, you might do a roll down. I'm going to say to Christine's got to sort out her camera and get herself down. So she's going to sort that out. And I'm going to give you some roll down moves. So you might do a classical roll down. So if you've got a spine that's okay with bending forwards, you might take your arms in front of your body, give your shoulders a little roll, nod your head, and take yourself gently down, let your head rolling down your body, soften your legs, and hang somewhere that feels comfortable. High. You don't have to worry about touching the floor. And when you're ready, breathe in and puff your back up and roll yourself all the way up. Now, the other thing you can do for this, if you've got osteoporosis or osteopenia and you don't want to put a heavy weight on your spine, is to have a straight back, that little hinge shape, and this works sitting as well. You then tuck your bum under and let that ripple spread up your spine, and then walk your hands up your body. I really like that one. I really like how it works for just about everybody, this one. So you can do it seated, start with the bottom and let it ripple up to your head and use your hands to straighten yourself. Lovely. And we'll go for one more. And then take yourself either down to the floor, if you're lying down on the floor today on a mat, like Christine is, or you can take yourself down to your bed. But I'm also going to stay seated and sort of move between the two today. You can have a cushion under your head if you're lying down, if that makes it more comfortable. And just lie on your back with your legs bent. It's always my favourite part of the class, this bit. I love a lie down. So you might be lying down in that sort of position, like Christine is, with her legs bent. She's in a perfect position there. Or you might be joining me staying seated. And if you're seated, you can take yourself right to the very back of your chair and rest your arms somewhere. They could be down by your sides or on your belly. And we're going to do those pelvic tilts like we did at the beginning. So imagine your bowl of water again. Oh, lovely. And if you're seated, your bowl of water is upright. Now, if you're lying down, it's a little different, but you can still get that sensation of water sloshing towards you and sloshing away. That's it. And use your exhale to get that abdominal contraction. And that pulls you back. Lovely. Last one of those. And then if you're seated, come forwards on your chair. So you're towards the front of your chair. If you're lying down, just stay where you are. You're great. Right, we're going to take a breath in. And as you breathe out and you feel your belly start to tighten, I want you to slide one leg long. That's it. And breathe in when it's long. And as you breathe out, I want you to pull it back, almost like you're dragging your foot back. Breathe in again. And extend the other leg. Slide it along the floor long. Breathe in and it's long. and slide it back. Slightly different this time. As we push away this time, we're going to do it through the heel, so the toe is going to be close towards you. So same thing, as you breathe out, extend the leg. And then I want you to hold it there, not bring it back. Now I want you to breathe in again. And we're going to pretend that we're going to lift the leg, but we're not going to lift it. So keep the leg long. That's it. Have the toes coming towards you. And now feel like you're about to lift that leg. And the most you're going to feel is your heel being slightly lighter on the floor. The leg doesn't actually go up in the air, but you can feel the tension. Now, Christine, can you confirm? Can you feel the tension in your leg and belly?
Absolutely. On the quadriceps, the front of my leg and the back.
Exactly. It's an isometric hold, which just means it's still, but the muscles are activated. Now we can let that foot flatten, and let the leg flop, and just give the foot a little wave around. And then we'll bring that leg back. Beautiful. Same on the other side. So we'll take a breath in, slide the leg away, but pull your toes up towards your knees. I'm just going to show from the side as well. Now your leg is sort of active already, just held like that. Take another breath in. And as you breathe out, think that you're going to lift your leg up. Feel the tension in the muscles. Feel the core start to gather inwards and feel tight. Try and breathe whilst you're there. That's really tricky. And then let it release, let it go floppy. Let that leg have a bit of a wave. And then bring it back. Lovely. So now I do like an isometric hold, and for anybody, if you've had a long time when you haven't been able to exercise, or you've just had a few days or a week when you've been off exercise, doing those sort of still movements with tension is a nice way back in. Right, now we're going to do something with our arms. So we were doing swinging before. We're going to now do like a backstroke. So just starting our arms on a backstroke, one back and then the other. And swapping them over in mid-air. That's it. Lovely. And then can we go for both back together? So they go up. That's it. Beautiful. So your core works a bit on this one, just to stop the rest of the body sort of sliding around too much. But now we're going to bring something extra into it. So if you're lying down, I'd like you to bring one leg up to a tabletop position. So it's in a sort of L shape. Perfect. And just hold it there and move the arms again. Just like you did before, double arms back. And if you're seated like me, you can either lift a leg up, and so the foot hovers off the floor, or you can do a heel raise. So just the heels up. You can feel that your core is having to work a little harder. We'll have the last one like that. Take the arms down and the leg down. Let's go for the other side. So we'll bring the leg up to its tabletop, and we'll do the same thing with the arms. And really, all we've got to think about in this is don't think about the arms too much. Don't think about the leg. Think about your ribs and your belly, and just holding them fairly still. And then they're doing all the work. Last one. Have a little break. Let both legs go down. Maybe give them a little sway side to side. That's it. And then we're going to try something a little bit more. It's the same sort of thing. I'll start off with the arm action. So the arms are going to go up, and then instead of going forwards, they go out to the side. They sort of draw a half circle. That's it. And then go as far as you want. Now, if you're on the ground, you might feel that you're sort of touching bits of the ground. If you're in the air and seated, they're in space. So we've got that going. And then we're going to do the same sort of thing with the legs. So we'll have one leg up for a tabletop position. Now, if you're seated, do a heel raise, because we're not just going to do one leg. Let's do two legs. The other leg up in a tabletop position. And you can put them next to each other if you want. They can press into each other, or they can stay apart. If you're seated, you may want them together. So I've got double tabletop with the heel raise. Now the arms are going to go back and round. And back and round. Anytime one or both legs wants to come down, let it. That's it. And there's no special breathing, just breathing. Beautiful, Christine. You're so stable there. I can see Christine does loads of different exercise things. Nordic walking in particular seems to be a speciality, Christine.
I'm Bali.
Oh, yes. Yes, I saw it. Yeah, Christine's got a video on We Are Undefeatable. I could see the ballet moves in there, which goes very nicely with what we're doing, actually. Last one. And then arms down, legs down. And this is where we do something that feels nice. So if you're lying on your back, you might want long legs, or you might want your legs in towards your chest. And you might want to hug them in, maybe rock side to side. You can bring your head up if you want to, completely up to you. It's just something that feels nice. If you're seated, you could give yourself a hug and rock side to side like that. You could also hinge forwards. If you can round your back and go onto your knees, you can hug yourself that way. Or you can just hinge forwards and sort of prop your elbows and keep a straight back and just have a little wiggle. And just enjoy that moment. Right, to sort of to bring us closer to the end of the class, we've got about 5 minutes left. We're going to change positions. So we're going to go onto our fronts. Now, I'm not going to go onto my front. I'm going to give you a seated equivalent. But Christine, if you could roll onto your front. So this is, we call it a prone position. And if you could put your hands really close to your shoulders, it's going to be like this. Beautiful. And with your head down, completely down on the mat. That's it. So in that position, your legs long and active, so they feel they've got some tension to them. Take a breath in. First, roll your shoulders back. And then lift your head and chest up. That's it. Beautiful. Absolutely perfect. And then take it down again. And keep going. I'm going to do the seated version. I'm bringing my hands, just like Christine's got them on the floor. I've got mine in the air. I'm sliding the elbows back. I'm going to give my shoulders a roll. And then I'm just going to lift my chest and head back a little. And then let it go forwards. Back and forwards. And we're getting into back extensions here. So it's the part of our back from the base of our neck down towards our waist, off the thoracic spine, and that's the bit we're really trying to lengthen. Oh, that's lovely, Christine. Now, although this position is very good for us, no one ever wants to be in this position for very long. So one more would be wonderful. And then let your hands go under your head and your elbows go wide, and take your legs wider and just give your bum a wiggle. And I'm just going to take my legs wider and just have a little wiggle here and give my shoulders a roll. Now, a similar position to that is to take the arms much, much wider. So, Christine, if you bring your hands, instead of being right next to your shoulders, they're much further apart, but they are sort of back a little bit. So your arms, yeah, that's it. And you're going to push yourself backwards and forwards. So there's some pressure going through your hands, but it's spread quite wide. That's it. And if you need to move your hands forwards to make it more comfortable, you can do that. Just adjust it as needed. And then if you're seated, we're going to make a sort of W shape with our arms and pull them down towards us and send our chest and our face slightly upwards. Beautiful. That's it. And you don't need to do anything dramatic with this one. You can still feel all the stuff working. That's it. And one more of those. And then, Christine, if you place your hands under your head just as a little cushion and just let your bum sway from side to side again. Perfect. And if you roll onto your side and come into a seated position and keep the camera just the same, I'll join you in a seated position. I'm low down today, so you could be a seated position down on the floor. You could be a seated position in the chair. And put your legs in any position that's comfortable for you. So you might be cross-legged or straight legs. I'm going for wider legs. We're going to do small side bends from one side, just arching over, nice and soft though this time. And then the other side. And one more time like that. And then this time we're going to hold over our head and do that same turn up, looking towards our arm or looking towards the ceiling. And then look to the camera or look straight ahead at the screen and straighten up. And one more like that. And then leave your arms downwards. Give your shoulders a roll. That's it. Give your neck just any roll that it likes. I like this sort of U-shaped roll. That's my favourite. And then bring your hands out at the sides and scoop up the air. We are almost done. Bring your hands together and bring them into your chest. Give yourselves a clap. Well done. Oh, Christine, thank you so much. Come closer to the camera so I can see you, just so we can say goodbye.
Thank you so much, Kerry. Thank you, everyone, for joining me and Kerry. We are undefeatable. We can keep going.
We can keep going, and you really show that. I know you deal with an awful lot, but you don't let it stop you. You keep on going.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, everyone. Thanks, Kerry.
It was such fun. I really enjoyed it. It's so nice to have someone to work with and work alongside. Thank you to the regulars.
Great to work with you, Kerry. Thank you very much.
Have a lovely time in Greece as well. Thank you to Paul, Catherine there. Thank you so much. Thank you, Jackie. Lovely to have you here. I'll be back next week. Usual time, usual class. Christine might be doing the class in a different country, but she won't be on screen this time. But you never know. We might do it again, Christine. Thank you so much. Goodbye.
Thank you. Bye.